Hello and welcome to Pod Save English. I'm Melody, and I'm so excited you've joined us today. Whether you're just starting your English learning journey or looking to brush up on the basics, you're in the right place.
And I'm Avery. Today, we're going to focus on something super important: how to introduce yourself in English. This is probably one of the first things you'll need to do when meeting new people, so we want to make sure you feel confident and prepared.
Absolutely. Don't worry if you're feeling nervous about speaking English. Remember, everyone starts somewhere, and making mistakes is totally normal. It's how we learn. Today, we'll break everything down into simple, manageable pieces.
Let's start with the very basics. Greetings. The most common way to start any introduction is with a simple greeting. The classics are hello and hi. Hello is a bit more formal, while hi is more casual and friendly.
Right. And depending on the time of day, you can also use good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. These are especially nice in more formal situations like job interviews or meeting your teacher for the first time.
That's so important, Avery. And here's something interesting. Did you know that greeting customs vary around the world? In some cultures, people bow when they meet, while others shake hands or even hug. But don't worry, in most English-speaking environments, a simple hello with a smile is always appropriate and widely understood.
Now, here's a pro tip. If you're not sure about the time of day or want to keep it simple, hello works perfectly in any situation. You can't go wrong with it. After your greeting, the next step is sharing your name. This is where many beginners get confused about which phrase to use. Let me give you the most common options. You can say, my name is, followed by your name. For example, my name is Sarah.
Or you can use I'm, which is more casual and commonly used in everyday conversation. So instead of my name is John, you'd say I'm John. Both are perfectly correct, but I'm sounds more natural in most situations.
There's also I'm called, which you might hear sometimes, but it's less common in American English. Stick with my name is or I'm, and you'll sound great. Let's practice. Hi, I'm Melody. See how natural that sounds? Speaking of names, let's talk about pronunciation for a moment. If you have a name that might be difficult for English speakers to pronounce, don't worry. You can help them by saying your name slowly and clearly the first time. For example, hi, I'm Xiao Ming. That's Xiao Ming. This shows confidence and helps people remember your name correctly.
Absolutely. And if someone mispronounces your name, it's perfectly okay to politely correct them. You can say, actually, it's pronounced, and then repeat your name clearly. Most people appreciate the correction because they want to get it right. Don't be shy about this. Your name is important and people want to respect it.
Perfect. And hello, my name is Avery. Both work beautifully. Now, here's something important. Don't forget that in English, we always capitalize names. When you write your introduction, make sure your name starts with a capital letter. Next, let's talk about sharing where you're from. This is usually one of the first questions people ask after learning your name. The most straightforward way is to say, I'm from, followed by your city or country.
For example, I'm from Tokyo, or I'm from Brazil, or I'm from New York. You can be as specific or general as you want. If you're from a small town, you might say, I'm from a small town near Madrid, or I'm from a city called Osaka in Japan.
Another option is I come from, which means the same thing. I come from Mexico sounds just as natural as I'm from Mexico. And if you've moved around a lot, you could say I'm originally from, for instance, I'm originally from Korea, but I live in Canada now.
That's a great point, Melody. And remember, if you're not comfortable sharing your exact location, it's perfectly fine to just mention your country or region. I'm from South America, or I'm from Europe works just fine too. Here's a helpful tip when talking about geography. If you're from a place that might not be well known internationally, you can give some context. For instance, I'm from Busan. That's a coastal city in South Korea. Or I'm from Guadalajara, which is in western Mexico. This helps people place you geographically and often leads to interesting conversations about your homeland.
And here's something wonderful about sharing where you're from. It often becomes a natural conversation starter. People love learning about different places and cultures. Don't be surprised if someone asks follow-up questions like, What's it like there? Or I've always wanted to visit that country. These are signs that people are genuinely interested in getting to know you better. Now let's move on to talking about what you do. This could be your job, your studies, or even if you're currently looking for work. If you have a job, you can say, I work as, or I'm a. For example, I work as a teacher, or I'm a teacher.
If you're a student, you can say, I'm a student, or I study, followed by your subject, like I study medicine, or I study computer science. And if you're studying at a specific school, you can add I study at or I go to. For example, I study at Tokyo University.
What if you're between jobs or looking for work? No problem. You can say, I'm currently looking for work, or I'm between jobs right now. There's no shame in that. It's part of life. You could also mention what kind of work you're looking for. I'm looking for work in marketing.
And if you're retired, you can simply say, I'm retired. You might also want to mention what you used to do. I'm retired, but I used to work as a nurse. This often leads to interesting conversations.
Adding a bit about your hobbies or interests makes your introduction much more interesting and gives people something to connect with. You can say, in my free time, I like to, or I enjoy, or simply I like.
For example, in my free time, I like to read and cook. Or I enjoy playing soccer and watching movies. Or I like traveling and learning new languages. See how these make you sound more interesting and approachable?
Exactly. And don't worry if your hobbies seem simple or common. Everyone likes different things, and that's what makes conversations interesting. Whether you like gardening, video games, or collecting stamps, share what you genuinely enjoy.
Here's another useful phrase. I'm interested in. This works especially well for topics you're learning about or exploring. I'm interested in photography, or I'm interested in learning about different cultures. Let me share some more hobby examples to give you variety. You might say, I'm passionate about music. I play the guitar. Or I'm really into fitness and go to the gym regularly. Or I love spending time outdoors, especially hiking and camping. The key is to use words that show enthusiasm, passionate about, really into, love, enjoy, fascinated by.
And don't forget about activities you do with others. You could say, I play soccer with friends on weekends, or I'm part of a book club, or I volunteer at the local animal shelter. These social activities are great conversation starters because they show you're community-minded and give others potential ways to connect with you. Let's put it all together with some complete examples. Listen to this. Hi, I'm Maria. I'm from Colombia, and I work as a graphic designer. In my free time, I enjoy painting and hiking. Notice how smooth and natural that sounds?
Here's another one. Hello, my name is Chen. I'm originally from Shanghai, but I live in London now. I'm a university student studying business, and I like playing basketball and listening to music. Great flow, right?
And here's a shorter version. Hi, I'm David. I'm from Canada, and I'm a chef. I love trying new recipes. See, you don't need to share everything at once. Keep it natural and comfortable for you.
The key is to sound relaxed and confident. Don't rush through your introduction, take your time, and speak clearly. Remember, the person you're talking to wants to get to know you, so they'll be patient and understanding.
Now let's talk about some common mistakes beginners make so you can avoid them. First, don't say I am come from. It should be I come from or I am from. The grammar is different for these phrases.
Another common mistake is forgetting articles. Don't say I am teacher. Instead, say I am a teacher. In English, we usually need that little word a before job titles. I'm a doctor, I'm a student, I'm an engineer.
Also, be careful with I have versus I am. Don't say I have 25 years. Instead, say I am 25 years old or simply I'm 25. We use I am for age, not I have.
And remember, when talking about languages, we say I speak, not I talk. So it's I speak English and Spanish, not I talk English and Spanish. Small detail, but it makes a big difference. Let me share a few more common mistakes we often hear. Don't say I am boring if you think your life isn't exciting. Instead, be positive. Say I enjoy quiet activities like reading, or I like simple pleasures like cooking at home. There's beauty in all kinds of lifestyles, and your personality is what makes you interesting.
Another mistake is being too negative about your English skills. Don't start with, sorry, my English is very bad. Instead, you could say, I'm still learning English. Or, English isn't my first language, but I'm working on it. This shows you're making an effort rather than apologizing for something you're actively improving.
Also, avoid sharing too much personal information in your first introduction. Keep details about your family situation, health, or financial status private until you know someone better. Focus on positive, general information that helps people understand who you are professionally and personally without being too intimate.
Let's do some interactive practice. I'll give you a few scenarios, and you can practice in your head or out loud. First scenario. You're at a coffee shop and someone sits at your table. How would you introduce yourself? Take a moment to think about it.
You might say something like, Hi, I'm Alex. I'm from Germany and I'm visiting the city for work. I'm an engineer. Simple, friendly, and gives the other person something to ask about. How did you do?
Here's another scenario. You're at a language exchange event meeting other English learners. Remember, everyone is in the same situation as you, so you can be extra encouraging. Try your introduction now.
You could say, Hello, my name is Lisa. I'm from Thailand and I'm here to practice my English. I work at a bank and I love reading books. I'm excited to meet everyone. Notice how enthusiastic and positive that sounds.
Last scenario. You're starting a new job and meeting your colleagues. This is more formal, so you want to sound professional, but still friendly. Give it a try.
Let's try one more scenario for extra practice. Imagine you're at a networking event or conference related to your field or interests. This is semi-professional, so you want to be polite, but also show your expertise and interests. How would you introduce yourself? Take a moment to think about it.
Here's a great example. Hello, I'm Sarah Kim. I'm a software developer from Seoul, currently working for a tech startup here in San Francisco. I specialize in mobile app development, and I'm particularly interested in apps that help people learn new skills. I'm excited to be here and learn from everyone.
Notice how professional yet personal that sounds.
Now that we've covered the basics of self-introduction, let's talk about something equally important. How to keep the conversation going after you've introduced yourself. This is where many English learners feel stuck. But don't worry, we've got some simple strategies for you.
The key is to ask follow-up questions that show genuine interest in the other person. After someone introduces themselves, you can ask questions like, how do you like living in this city? Or how long have you been working as a teacher? Or, that sounds interesting. How did you get into photography? These questions invite them to share more about their experiences.
Another great technique is finding common ground. If someone mentions they're from a place you visited, you can say, Oh, I've been there. I love the food. Or if they share a hobby you also enjoy, try, I love cooking too. What's your favorite cuisine to make? These connections help build rapport and make conversations feel natural and engaging.
Let's take a moment to talk about something that's just as important as your words, your body language, and confidence. Remember, communication isn't just about what you say, it's also about how you say it and how you present yourself. When you introduce yourself, stand or sit up straight, make eye contact, and smile genuinely.
A confident handshake, if appropriate in the situation, goes a long way too. Make it firm, but not too strong, and maintain eye contact while shaking hands. If you're naturally shy or nervous, that's completely normal. Take a deep breath before speaking, and remember that most people want to meet you and will be understanding if you seem a little nervous.
Here's a confidence booster. Prepare a few versions of your introduction for different situations. Practice a short version, a medium version, and a longer version. This way, you'll always have something ready to say, and you won't feel caught off guard. The more you practice, the more natural and confident you'll sound.
Perfect example. Good morning, I'm Roberto Martinez. I'm originally from Argentina, and I'll be joining the marketing team. I have experience in digital advertising, and I'm really looking forward to working with everyone. Professional yet warm.
Before we wrap up, here are some bonus phrases that can make your introductions even better. If someone asks you, "How are you?" After you introduce yourself, you can respond with, I'm doing well, thank you, or I'm fine, thanks. How about you?
And when someone introduces themselves to you, respond with, nice to meet you, or it's a pleasure to meet you. These are polite ways to show you're happy to meet them. Then you can ask questions like, where are you from? Or what do you do?
If you didn't catch someone's name, don't be embarrassed. Just say, I'm sorry, could you repeat your name? Or, I didn't catch your name. Everyone understands, and they'll appreciate that you want to get it right.
As we finish today's lesson, remember that introducing yourself gets easier with practice. Start with the basics we covered today, and gradually add more details as you become more comfortable. Every conversation is a chance to practice.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're part of learning. The most important thing is to be yourself and show your personality. People want to connect with the real you, so let your warmth and friendliness shine through.
For homework, try practicing your introduction in front of a mirror or with a friend. Write it down first if that helps, then practice saying it naturally. Remember our formula: greeting, name, where you're from, what you do, and one or two interests.
Before we conclude, let's talk about adapting your introduction to different environments. In academic settings, you might emphasize your studies and research interests. In social settings, focus more on your hobbies and personal interests. In professional contexts, highlight your work experience and skills. Learning to adjust your introduction shows cultural awareness and social intelligence.
Timing is also important. Your introduction should typically last between 15 to 30 seconds for most casual situations, and maybe up to a minute in professional settings. Practice timing yourself so you don't rush through or take too long. Remember, after your introduction, the other person should have a chance to share about themselves too.
Thank you so much for joining us today on Pod Save English. We hope you feel more confident about introducing yourself in English. Keep practicing, stay positive, and remember, every expert was once a beginner.
We'll be back soon with more practical English lessons. Until then, keep learning, keep practicing, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. You've got this. Goodbye for now.
Goodbye, everyone, and happy learning.